work, and we can make it work. And that's really the exciting thing, is that we have it in our powers to change our world. We have it in our powers to change our life. Regardless of how difficult the conditions of your life are, you have it within you. You have the power to create change. The power that I'm talking about is a result of your inner productivity. It is a result of you, first of all, becoming aware of your nature, of how you think, of how you feel. Becoming aware of what it is you have learned and what it is you do learn, because we all learn all the time. Every moment of our life we learn. And because of what we have learned, or from what we have learned, our personality has evolved. Our mentality, our character has evolved. And that is like this for everyone. We all do what we do in this world because of what we have learned and what we do learn. How we react to people is a result of what we learn. The way we think is a result of what we learn. The way we feel is a result of what we learn. So becoming aware of that, that's really where it begins. And then there are also some things that are very important to be aware of. Is also about, when we talk about change, is about what can we change and what can't we change. I think Michael Jackson said it best in his song Man in the Mirror. If you want to make this world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Of course, I think we all want to make this world a better place. Even though somehow we were programmed to be rather selfish, and we only focus on ourselves and getting ahead for ourselves and taking care of ourselves and our loved ones, our family, our obligations. I think we've become somehow self-absorbed. But beyond that, I think basically most people, we want to help this world. We want this world to be better. And how we do this, how we change this world, is by changing ourselves. But how do we change ourselves? Well, actually, it's pretty obvious. One thing we all can learn more is patience. And I think we all would like that. Especially nowadays where everything is so fast and nobody really has time for anything. Patience is a virtue. As is love. Love is actually the greatest power there is. It truly is a power. And love is something that requires you to go beyond the fear, which is what we have learned. And fear happens not just when we get afraid, but fear happens when we argue with other people, when we get negatively influenced by what is happening to us. We get afraid every time we think we don't have enough and we need more. Then we act out of fear. When we worry, it's because of fear. In love, we have faith. When we have love, we have the security of knowing I can do it. I have the powers within me to change. Whatever happens right now, however difficult it is temporary. And not only this, because it is temporary, when something that is difficult happening to you, and when difficult people come into your life, they test your patience, or they test your, they maybe evoke something negative in you, they make you uncomfortable, make you icky, make you angry. Reality is actually that nobody really can make you anything. But sometimes when they are negative people, it is just natural to react negatively to that. But actually that is our greatest opportunity for us to learn and to really test our love. Because that is really what the power of love in action is about. When things are difficult, when people test us, when people cross us or rub us the wrong way. And instead of reacting negatively, which is what we usually do, we can understand that actually their negative behavior is not really about us. It's about them. It's about something within them. And it's really important. And I think in love we really can do that. We can learn to let them own that. When we take it on and then we argue with that person, we don't let them own it. Because then it goes back and forth and it creates aggression, it creates more fear, it creates hurt feelings, and eventually the relationship will break apart. And then that negativity, we take it on, because then we feel negative ourselves. If we are steadfast in love, it won't happen. What I'm saying here, of course, is easier said than done. But it can be done. That's the good news. It is something we all can learn. Or even better, and that's really what Realize to Actualize is about, it is something that we all can practice. Because every one of us has people in our life, they sometimes are challenging. And we usually react negatively to those people. It's just about, like, if you look at what's happening in this world, and the great amount of suffering, and the terrible things that are happening, and just turning on the news creates more anxiety in us. But it doesn't need to be that way, because these things outside of us happening for us to learn that, first of all, we cannot change that, and these things happen because they need to happen. Otherwise, they would not happen. It has nothing really to do with us, even though we are part of the consciousness which has allowed for that. So in this regard, we are responsible. We all are responsible. But the way we can help heal this, we can help heal this world, and the way we can also help other people to heal, is first of all by helping ourselves to heal, that when these things happen that usually create a negative reaction in us, which is a fear-based reaction, we can actually learn, or rather practice, to react differently. Not out of fear anymore, but out of love. And if we are in that space of love, we understand that everything is happening because it needs to happen. This we cannot change, what is happening to us, but we can change our response to what is happening to us. And by doing this, we create an entirely new reality. And there it begins, of course, with ourselves, with our own reactions. And through this, we also have an effect on our environment, on the people we are in contact with. And this then has a ripple effect on the greater world surrounding us. And so the new revolution of this world, as I like to call it, begins with an evolution from within. And that is about the awakening to our true nature. And that is love. All of these things that are happening in this world, the terrible things that freak us out or make us upset or sad or anxious, just as much as the negative people in our life who push our buttons or trigger us in a negative way, they are actually there for us to learn that we cannot change that, but we can change ourselves. And we are free in that we can learn to not react out of fear anymore, but out of love. That's really what it's about, to consciously create our own world, to consciously create our own reality. Because that's what we do. We all create our world to be the way it is, exactly the way it is. And we all have co-created this world to be the way it is. And so to recreate and co-create a new world, a new reality, is a matter of starting within yourself or by yourself. You have an opportunity for that. Every moment of your life you have an opportunity for that. So I'd like to invite you to that. Here, check out realizetoactualize.com, and not just a new way of thinking, or rather a very old way of thinking, because I'm not the first one to have said that. But what is new to Realize to Actualize? Because it involves the practice. So there are many books written on the subject. Many spiritually enlightened people have talked about these things throughout the ages. Even now, there's so many workshops we can go to, and so many ways of get healing. But then we just have to go back to the work week and to our routine, and then the whole problem starts again. So what I'm suggesting here is to practice every moment of your life to be in love, to remain in love. There you can really learn about the nature of others. And through this you learn about your own nature. Because ultimately that is the eternal quest, is to gain knowledge of self. Interestingly enough, we already had this knowledge when we came into this world. Children already know who they are, and they don't really know about how they want to use that and develop that. So I think we human beings, or we adults, should help children. We should guide children instead of instructing them to basically just follow into the footsteps of their parents, or just fulfill their function that their society dictates, so the system can function. Because again, it is the system that we're all part of that is responsible for the destruction of our world and for the enslavement of mankind and the injustice throughout human history. A new system needs to arise from within. A system that is a result of human collaboration and synergy. And so basically, simply put, it's about people talking about it. When there's a problem with somebody, I would recommend to you just talk about it. Don't be afraid, don't run away, or don't fight that person, which usually the response we have when something happens to us that we don't like. It's either fight or flight response. There is another response that can create, actually that is the only way that we can create harmony and we can restore the balance and we can bring about peace between ourselves and others, and that is by talking about it. But if you do that, I guarantee you amazing results. And if you find it very difficult in the beginning, let me assure you that every journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And so that's all you got to do is take this one single step and you will be amazed. Let me assure you of that.